Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, hello and welcome. I'm your host as always, Thomas100 Experter, or even Dominic Coles from VGU, if you're actually watching this on the VGU website. And we were about to take a step into the new MMO that's sweeping the nation, The Secret World. Now, this MMO originally came out as a payly subscription model, which basically meant that you paid for the game and then you paid for the subscription. They'll obviously let you play for so many months, and then you have to pay it again for so many months. And it was one of those systems, but they changed the system recently, and now it is it's a one-off payment and then a free-to-play model. So it's kind of like how Guild Wars 2 does it, where you buy the game, and then as soon as you bought the game, you're in there, and you can cruise, and then obviously you can use real-world money in the game to get yourself some nice snazzy t-shirts, make yourself look all nice and proper. It's really good. It's really good that they've gone with that approach. I think it's going to strengthen the MMO. But anyway, let's not just sit here watching the title screen and talk about the MMO. Let's get in here and actually show you what the game is all about. So in the Secret World, you play as one of 3 different factions, and the 3 factions are actually 3 secret organizations of the world. And the 3 organizations of the world, that doesn't actually help because that's just showing the servers. The 3 organizations of the world are the Illuminati, which are based in America, the Templars, that are based in the UK, oh, Britannia, sorry, I am British, I do have to say that, and the 3rd one is the Dragons, which is based in Seoul, which I do believe is in Japan? I could be wrong. Gotta check that. Gotta check on that one. I do apologise, but I haven't seen much of the dragons. That's why. Not yet, anyway. But yes, here is my character that I've been playing around with a lot, quite frankly. Trilbyfire, because if you know me, you know I like wearing trilbies, and I'm on fire, because why not? It's my own custom character. The character customization in this game is really quite nice. You can change all, like, your major facial structures, your it's mainly to do with the face, to get your own personalised face in there. You can't really change any of like the torso designs, like if you want to be ripped, normal, or fat, for example, or even really, really thin. Which I think is a little bit bad, but I can understand why they might not necessarily want to go with that. They want to make this slightly more in tune with realism. So I guess I can understand why. Would have maybe been good to have a few other customization options in there like that, but that's a personal thing really. As you can see, representing the Steam t-shirt, which you can get from purchase on Steam, because when you buy on Steam you do get a few really nice stuff for free. Like I got this jacket, I got the Steam t-shirt, I also got the Quasitocotl headdress, which you were looking at right there, as well as that, which I will go into in a little moment. Now let's actually jump into the game here as the Illuminati. I decided to play as the Illuminati just because they had a blue eye logo, and blue is one of my favourite colours, so why the hell not? I did not pick them because they're American. No offence to you Americans, but I did not. So here we are in the wonderful world of the perfect world. Now I'm over here for a reason, because I will show you a quest which I'm able to do over here with Norma Creed, which I will show you in a second. But I might as well introduce you to a little bit of the world at the moment, so you can have a look at the graphics and things. Graphics are really quite nice. I've got mine on the highest setting possible because my PC can take it, and it looks really good. I have to admit, the art style they were going with really shows. It just looks great, in all honesty. It just looks great. And that's one thing I'm going to have to commend it for, originally. Now, the looks are all well and good, but how does the game actually play? Well, you've got your standard WASD to move around, which is all well and good. You've even got Q and E to strafe left and right, which is very handy for when you're just dodging enemy attacks. And then, of course, you've got the combat, which is all around your mouse and the number keys. Now before I actually go into a fight here, I want to explain to you how the combat system works with abilities and skills. Now bring this up. This is the ability wheel, and yes, this does look very confusing when you first look at it, but allow me to explain it for you. In this ability wheel, you have the selection of all the different kinds of weapons in the game that you can specialise in. As you can see, you can specialise from assault rifles, pistols and shotguns if you want to be a ranged person, blades, hammers and fists if you want to be a melee person, and elementalism, chaos and blood magic if you want to be a magic person. Simple as. But as well as that, you have all these different mini sections of the ability slots which basically give you your abilities, both passive and active. Now, for example, if I go down here to Chance, I've fully maxed this out, but I might as well show you it. In Chance, like one of these standard areas, as you can see there, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 abilities you can get, which are a mix of active and passive abilities that can either give you buffs, that can give enemies debuffs, that can deal damage to one enemy, multiple enemies, small damage, moderate damage, high damage, you name it. They all mix and match and even put on different things, and it's really nice for you can literally mix and match all of these. You can carry 2 weapons at once as well, so you can specialise in 2 different weapons at once, hence why I'm specialising in chaos and pistols with this character. And I might as well show you some of the abilities here, such as Genosis, which is a passive ability, have a chance to deal an extra hit when successfully hitting a target in the weakened state, and states are debuffs in this game. So if you wonder what a state is, it's either a buff or a debuff depending on what the thing does. So weakened state basically means they're weakened, simple as. And then down here at the bottom we have equipped actives and equipped passives. Your active abilities are obviously the abilities you're going to be using in combat. In my case I have a nice plethora, such as Hand of Carnage, Escalation, Paradox, which basically fires a mini crossbow out of nowhere, because this is the thing I love about Chaos Magic. Chaos Magic is all about you summoning weapons on the fly that will help you out. So for that you have Hand of Carnage, where you're just basically punching them with chaos energy around your hands. Escalation, where you literally whip out Wolverine style claws and start slashing every enemy around you. Very good if you are harassed by tons of evil people. Very handy. We've also got Paradox, which basically fires off a crossbow. Like, you literally summon a crossbow and just fire it. It's got moderate range to it. You don't have to be right up next to your opponent, but it has less range than guns, hence why I like to have a gun with me with full ranged combat. And as well as that, I also have Schism, which is an active ability that deals damage, a lot of damage, but it consumes resources. And I'll go on about resources when we go into a fight in a little bit. And then I have a few gun abilities here. I have an elite skill. Now, at the end of all these abilities, which are called decks, by the way, so all these little slots are known as decks, hence why they have their own names, like tier armor, the value of X, collapse, building blocks, and names like that. At the bottom of a deck, or normally at the bottom of a deck, you have an elite ability, which will either be a passive or active elite ability. In this case, in Chance, the elite ability is passive, and in Theory, the elite passive is active. You can have one elite ability in your active and passives at the same time, and you can mix and match them depending on what you like, which is really cool. The abilities really stand out to me. I really do like how they've done it in obviously the wheel format, and it is a little bit confusing at first, don't get me wrong, but after you get past the fact that there are a lot of abilities to mix and match with, you're just going to have fun literally mixing and matching with these abilities until you find the right combination was right for you. So go nuts on it, literally do it. Now just got to remember what the button is here. That reminds me as well, you can also go from your standard camera behind the character view, or you can press T to switch to a targeting mode, which literally means that you're a little bit to the side and you can run around, and then you can use this mode instead if you just want to target particular things and people and stuff. So this is actually really good. I really liked that they added that, because I know some people prefer to have one type of mode over the other, so it's good that they gave you that diversity. Now, where was I? Yes, I was... heck, I can do it through here. So let's have a look at the skills. Now, skills are similar to abilities, where in order... well, let's put it this way. Your abilities will either give you active or passive abilities that will go on you and then you can mix and match them. Skills are more permanent, where they will give you a passive ability that's always happening. So it will give you a passive buff that will just keep going. But as well as that, you need skill points in order to equip particular quality of items. For example, if you want to equip an item that is quality level 2, you need to have skill 2 in that particular proficiency. In this case, I have skill 2 in pistol, skill 3 in chaos, and skill 2 in head, major, and minor talismans. And these talismans are cast as basically your armor in this game, so you want to make sure you keep up to date with those talismans. Oh yes. It's a nice little touch we put here, so that if you do want to specialize in a certain tree, you do have to go down that tree in both abilities and skill points, which I think is quite nice, because they all help you out in the end. Now let's stop talking about the abilities and skills and actually put them to the test, shall we? Now in this case I have wisps that are flying around here, so let's fight a wisp or two. I'm going to start off with gun wielding, and then I'm going to switch over to my chaos abilities so you can have a look at what they all do. Come over here, you wispy! Bring out my drone mate, because I do love my little drone person. I'm going to slash it, I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to claw it upward. Now, when I'm fighting this wisp, have a look. On the wisp, you can see it has those 5 little reticles on it. Those are weapon resources. Those red ones are my pistol resources. And whenever I can use those resources to make myself that little drone that you see flying around me. And in the bottom left hand corner you can see I have 5 chaos resources. Those chaos resources can also be consumed so that I can use some really badass chaos abilities, and they buff me up and make me super powerful and epic. It's a really good twist because it means you have to properly get into the combat, and it helps give you more devastating abilities the more you hit your opponents, and you can string together different combinations of different things. It's really quite cool. Obviously, from time and again, you can loot people. I've just got something which, quite frankly, I am not pleased of. But yet again, this character is quite overpowered in this area, so I don't expect to do that much. Now, as I did said, sorry, I am failing a little bit in the vocabulary department. Get over it, man! You're English! Use it! But yes. As I said earlier, we are now going to do this quest with Norma Creed. Now, let me show you the quests over here, because your quests will show up on the right hand side of the screen. And you'll have your storyline quest, which is the quest that's obviously driving the main narrative of the game. You have dungeon missions that will send you to do missions within particular instances. Most of these will take place in either like houses, sewers, and places like that. You have main missions that can take you anywhere and everywhere and basically make you do a plethora of things, whether they're just simply go over here, do this and you're done, or go over here, do this, and then go over here and do this, and then go over here and do this. They really mix and match, and main missions are also a really good way on how to immerse yourself more into the world and get to know all these different characters and all their different backstories, and it's really cool how they've done that, so I really commend that. And then you have slots for 3 side missions at a time. Now side missions can also be anything from fetch quests to do this and then do this afterwards and then do this afterwards and then come back to me kind of quests. It's really quite cool how they've split this up and made it really easy to manage. But just in case you do not like this and you want a proper list in like a journal to keep up to date with what you're doing, there is a journal. And you can also have a look at what tier you're on. Like for example, on my main storyline quest I am on tier 10, which is pretty damn good. I'm only 8 tiers away from completing this arc of the story, so that's really cool. But we're not here to do that. We're here to start a brand new quest with Norma Creed. This quest in particular, and it is something wicked. Norma recalls a series of murders in the summer of 2002. She never believed the story served up by the news and says the real culprit wasn't even human. Tier 1. A case of multiple murders in a small town like Kingsmouth must have been widely discussed in the newspapers. Find more information about the case. Let's do it!
There's a pressure building, the kind that comes before a storm when it builds and builds but just won't break. Yeah, the Ravens, they feel it too. Last time I saw them like this, when the trees were more birds than branches, there were murders. Yeah, that was back in 2002, tail end of a long and wicked hot summer. By August, the whole town smelled rotten, and we hadn't seen a drop of rain since June. When the storm finally broke and the Ravens flew, the killings stopped. Never believed what the paper wrote about that vagrant, neither did Helen, despite those boys in city council leaning on her. Well, she took a beating. Could have hurt her career, but she was right. Wasn't human hands cut those girls open. An unkindness of Ravens, isn't that what they call it? My idea of reading is the TV guide, not anything that could charitably be called literature. But even I know signs and portents when I see them.
So yeah, from time and again, depending on what quest that you do get a little bit of a cutscene with the character involved, so you can get more immersed into it. This cutscenes are really well done in my opinion. The animations are pretty damn good. Obviously the character models are done quite nice. I've only seen a couple of character model issues from time to time. Like there's one character that I had a conversation with during a cutscene, and what ended up occurring was that I'm going in the wrong direction, aren't I? Oh no, this is a quest that actually has you go off on your own. Well, we are going to head over to a place that I know we can go to anyway, so that's cool. But yeah, as I was saying, the one issue that I had was where I was in the middle of a cutscene, I was talking to this NPC, and as the cutscene was going, I couldn't help but noticing that you can really identify the polys that were used on that particular NPC's body structure and even the face. So, on some of the characters, depending on their facial structure and depending on their body structure, they're actually modelled really well. In other cases, you can really see the topology, and sometimes the polygons really stand out, which I think can sometimes be a negative touch to the experience, because you just see that and you think, really? But that's really only a tiny thing. It doesn't really bother me too much. The animations I enjoy very much. I really think that the animations are pretty damn good. I think the only thing I do not like about the animations is probably the lip syncing. It just looks a little bit off how they talk. It just sounds like they're going with their top lip and just go. Like if you go back and look at that cutscene, look at it again, and see how the character really only just moves their top lip a little bit every time they speak. It's perfectly synced up. It's just that I think they could have more expression behind their speech. Yet again, little tiny tidbit. Not going to go real deep in that. Let's have a look at this computer and see if this helps us towards our quest, shall we? Suspect database. How about number 1? Nope, nothing there. How about number 2? Nope. Number 3? Nope. What about number 4? Nope, nothing else. Well, this is a great start to a quest. We don't actually know what we're looking for. Obviously we're looking for news and trying to find out more information about the murders. Maybe well, Miss Bannerman over here has an idea. Nope, there's no dialogue option for that, so that's amazing. Well, I might as well introduce you guys to the one thing that you'll probably end up using more in this game than anything else. The in-game web browser. Oh yes. Now, not just can you use this web browser to go onto YouTube and many other websites, and even Facebook whilst you're playing the game, you can also use this to actually go onto actual websites that the creators of the game have actually created for some of the quests that appear in the game that you can actually use for information sources. In this case, I'm going to be a dick and just try and find out how I can continue this quest. It's really quite gay that you can actually do this in-game and actually cheat in-game. I think in a professional standpoint this can be seen as pretty damn bad, because you can just actively have people quote-unquote cheating. I wouldn't say this is cheating, but I would say that it's clearly an easier way out, if you know what I mean. So we have to check the archives on the second floor of Town Hall on Main Street. So we need to go to Town Hall, apparently. I will go onto my map and let's have a look where Town Hall is. The map is really quite nice as well. It has its own unique art style to it. I like how it's done. And you can also put down your own personal markers there if you want to. Like down here I've got cultists, because there were some enemy cultists down there that I had to kill for a quest. Go here for the main quest that I had up there, and yes, I did have to go up there for the main quest. And hippies, because there are actually hippies in this game. I might not be able to show you it in this little preview, but we'll see how it goes. Now, where is the center of 10 that I obviously need to go to, but obviously can't see? No, they mustn't mean the church. They mustn't. I could be going nuts at this point. I think I actually am. You know what? Let me check that browser again. I'm an idiot. I probably am the biggest idiot in the world when it comes to working stuff out for yourself in MMOs. So I do apologize if this just seems very monotonous. I might actually have to edit this bit out if it takes so long. Now let's have a look over here. Check the archives on the second floor of Town Hall, Main Street. Okay, so I do actually have to go to Main Street. That's the better way of looking at it. Find fucking Main Street, you idiot! You know what I mean? Right, let's add a marker here. You can do this by right-clicking, and you can put as many markers as you want, which is really cool. So, let's just put over here, newspaper. Because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for newspaper bits. So now we put a marker down there, we can follow our trusty map. I actually know where it is off the top of my head, so I don't need to use it that badly. And we can head on over. Now as we head on over, might as well talk to you about the unique weapon crafting system that we actually have in this game. And not just as if used for weapon crafting, you can also use it for artifact crafting as well, which I think is really damn cool. And I'll show you this as soon as we get to the church, which is right over here. So that's awesome. So we look down this street. Okay, so here is the assembly tab. In here you can literally create weapons and trinkets you can also make to put on your character to make them super powerful or incredibly and utterly useless. Now you can assemble and disassemble different things. In this case I cannot disassemble a single thing, because none of my things want to be disassembled, which sucks. I don't actually have... It's upsetting really. I don't actually have enough things to actually craft something right here, right now, to show you what it's capable of doing. And to show you how good it is. But let's put it this way. If, for example, you wanted to make a weapon for your chaos, for like a chaos weapon, because you're a chaos class kind of guy and you want to equip it and go absolutely nuts, then you literally put your substances that you want to work with down like this, get yourself a toolkit, and you would be able to create your very own weapon based on how you assemble them in the assembly. There is a tutorial that will happen in the game, and there is a quest that you have to take, well, that literally the game prefers you to take, that will walk you through all this and how it all works, and obviously what different combinations there are. And heck, even if you can't remember it all, you can just use the in-game browser and just check up on there, so it isn't too bad. It's really handy that they've done that. It's really unique as well. I haven't really seen many MMOs or even games in general that have really tried doing any of that. So I like it. I like it a lot. Now let's see. We're looking out for anything suspicious that we can grab a hold of that might give us a little look. Ooh, there's a phone book over here. I wonder. Have anything interesting? Nope. Nope, it doesn't. Well, we've got to keep our eyes out. We want more information on these murders that are occurring. Now, this is a priest house. Now it's obviously down Main Street, so let's go down Main Street, see what we can find. There's another player over there just staring at a brick wall. It's very nice of him. Just gonna stare at this brick wall, something suspicious about it. Which is fair. Ah, here we are, Town Hall. Okay then, let's have a rummage through Town Hall, shall we? I've never actually been in Town Hall before. Walked past this place a million times, but never had a quest that's really made me go in here, so that's nice. Aha! Here we are. Now, what year was it? It was 2002, so let's try and find the 2002 cabinet. It's 2001. 2002, here we go. Aha! So we found out some information. So this is really cool as well. With most of the quests that you have to do, if it's newspaper, if it's images, if it's like things off of a mobile phone, they'll come up like this, and they've actually created them for you to look at, which is really nice to see. The little touches that just add up to this are amazing. They really are. Oh yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention, by the way. There are some, well, obviously some things popped up on screen. That was the AP and the SP. SP standing for skill points, AP standing for ability points. Because as you can see in the bottom here, we have your XP bar, as every MMO should have. It will also show you how much AP and SP you do have to spare if you do not have them on the little right hand corner over there. The little blue dash represents how far you are, and these little yellow dashes, or these little dashes along the way, will show you when you'll next gain said ability point or even skill point, which is quite fun. It's quite nice to know, and you can always check it anytime, so it's not too bad. Now I forgot what that quest actually, forgot what it actually said there, so Overdraw's empty now. Well, let's have a look over here. It might actually give us a little bit more help. Details of the case were withheld by the Sheriff's Office, but information must surely exist elsewhere. Yes, because as you can see, the Kingsmouth girls, and that helps. That helps a lot. Okay, so yet again, not much direction. It's the only big problem I actually have with some of the quests in this game, and it's more so than none for the quests in this game. Something Wicked Guide will be the best thing to put. There you go. The fact is, for some of the quests that you have to do, obviously, they require you to go and do research. I don't blame them. That's what that emblem mostly stands for. It's mostly standing for, go and do your research. But I kind of find that boring. I kind of like being led on to go to different places in the world and having to find stuff. But actually having to use an in-game browser to actually try and find a way to continue the next stage of the game is just something I particularly am not a massive fan of. I can live with it, don't get me wrong, but yeah, from time and again I just find it a bit off. Let's find out about this. Now that you have found some information from a newspaper, follow up with the law enforcement agency that investigated the case. Sheriff Bannerman was the lead investigator in this case. It was Larry Checken. Go to the sheriff's office, access the computer, and look at the suspect's database. Ah, so the place where we started this quest, when we actually went to the sheriff's office to actually see if there was any information there, which was completely right for the second step, it was not actually where we were supposed to go in to begin with, but we have to go back there anyway. Ah, that hurts. And around the world, when you're going around, you can also pick up these little beehive style emblems that are the lore of the game. It's really cool because they give you a lot of information about the backstory of the areas you're going through, even newspaper articles about severe like murders and crime cases that actually happened in the area, either at obviously in the year that you're playing, or even in the past, like 1712, or even in the 1600s, or even in the mythic age in some cases. It's always good to know that an MMO has a very good lore behind it to keep it driven. I'm one of these kinds of people where generally if you have good lore, I want to read it. If you do not have good lore, then why am I playing your MMO? Because that's one thing about MMOs that should drive the player to want to play it more, the world itself and how it immerses you into it.
Yeah, that was
And this world has
no
actually
good
done
for
a
the town,
pretty damn
no
good
good for
job in my
policing.
opinion.
Now I'm through with it, but you can have at the computer there if it'd scratch an itch.
Okay, let's have a look over here. So it was, I think it was Gardener. So it's number 4. Nope. Nathan. Nope. Larry. Here we go. Yep. Okay, I think we just found the information we needed. Examine the cell for more clues. Okay, let's go over to the police cell. There it is. If this was what they were after when they said examine the cell. If they weren't thinking examine the cell phone. Let's keep looking around, because there's got to be something around here. We're supposed to be examining the cell. Can't actually get inside. Seems a bit wacky. Does our journal say anything else that we should know about? Killed himself while in custody. His last words were that the truth would be told by his ghost. How very lovely. So we need to find a way into this cell, if at all possible, then.
Now you are a sight for sore eyes.
Now, do I talk to you about it? No? There's the other thing as well. You would think it would be just as easy as going into the cell and seeing what happens next, but no. The cell doesn't quite want to open up. Sad face. So you need to find another way in, I guess. Either that or I'm going to have to check the legendary in-game browser again. I don't necessarily want to keep checking the in-game browser, I just think it kills the experience of the game. Having to go back to the browser every 5 minutes just to find out what you bloody got to do next, because the game doesn't give you a direct way of actually getting from A to B in some of the quests. So what, this is like the 3rd time now I've had to use this. Sadly, this is the one thing that actually kills it for me. The fact that some of the quests you have to keep coming back to guides, or have to keep researching using the in-game web browser. I think it just slightly kills it for me. Dead in his cell, but the last thing he said was, "You asked my ghost for the truth. If you just run up to the cell, you won't be able to get in. But notice, check on said my ghost. You need to be dead in order to continue." Wow. Wow. So, in order to continue, you actually have to go / and you have to do this in chat, / reset and die. And then release yourself and come back to life and enter the cell, I guess, in order to talk to the ghost. Now, don't get me wrong, that is actually a very cool way of doing it. The fact that you actually have to be dead in order to talk to a ghost, that's pretty damn cool. The only problem I have with that is that it didn't really give you the clear understanding that, oh yes, you had to die. Especially when I'm at this stage in the game where I've been against zombies, I've been against floating beings, I've been against beings that can use magical attacks against you, and yet I can't speak to a ghost. I find that a little bit yeah. And see, now the cell door's open because you're dead. Now let's have a look in here. And there's his ghost. There's Larry. Now, is there actually anything happening around here? Or is this quest bugged? What is happening here? I do not actually know what is happening. This is kind of creeping me out. Okay. Mr. Larry? Mr. Larry, is there anything actually happening in here? Oh, I see. Sorry. Sometimes you have to really concentrate on where you are. That was a clear sign of me not concentrating. So let me see. Bannerman is hot. That's nice. Bannerman can suck. Well, that's nice as well, I guess. Now, it obviously says search for clues, but I'm not really seeing much in the way of clues apart from Bannerman is hot. And Larry isn't really helping me because he's just standing in the middle of nowhere. Does it have anything to do with that? 13. You've got 13 etched into the wall over there, and I wonder if that has anything to do about it. 13. Well, this is a perfect example of an interesting quest, isn't it? And guess what I'm going to end up doing? Yep, that's right. Going to use the browser again because this is seriously pissing me off. Like, how was I supposed to expect, or how was I supposed to know that I had to kill myself in order to enter that room to search for clues that I don't understand? Really. Player will die. Spirit run over to the cell, enter it, and check the inscription in order to move on to the next tier. There's an inscription? Where? Where is that inscription? Like, can you guys see an inscription in there? Because I could not see an inscription in there when I was in there and I was dead. No, I cannot see anything that would detail as an inscription. Wow. Just wow. I'm gonna have to do this again, aren't I? Ugh. Is this how Total Biscuit feels when he does a WTF is installment? Because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it right now. Because seriously, you guys are probably not enjoying this a little bit, and I know I'm not enjoying this a little bit. But this is what the games designers must have intended for you to do in order to continue and progress the story. Or this particular kind of quest. It just pisses me off to no end how you have to use an in-game browser to do research in order to find the answers, and yet you're better off using the in-game browser to find the actual way of how to complete the quest line in the first place. You might as well take advantage of it. It's sad, but you might as well do it. Then let's have a look. Let's try rezzing inside the cell and see if that does anything. So now I'm inside the cell, I can't get out. Oh no, look at me, sad face. Now there's an inscription in here apparently, and I have to examine, so I'm just waving my thingy around. The White Raven's whisper, Golden Gull's sorrowful secrets are never told. I still don't understand that, quite frankly. Apparently I have to examine something, but I see nothing to examine. It tells me I have to examine an inscription, and nope, I think this quest is bugged. Because I'm literally right-clicking on every single piece of wording I can see on this wall. There are no prompts that are coming out saying that you can examine this. There are no like little tabs that come out saying examine me or press this to examine. What am I supposed to be looking at? Because apparently I'm supposed to do this in order to activate the next tier so I can carry on the quest. But yet I can't do it because it's not there. Great. And now I'm stuck in a cell with no way of getting out apart from dying yet again. Isn't that just brilliant? Okay, so I did a long bit of research to one side, off screen there, and I had to look into a few things, and I realised where I went wrong. You have to stay dead. You have to go right next to Mr. Larry over here, and then you get the prompt to look at the inscription. The White Raven's whisper, Golden Gull's soulful secrets are never told. Literally. That's all you had to do in order to find it. It is so sad. Figure out what the cryptic message means. I looked into that as well, and you have to stay dead for this entire thing. I am not joking. Stay dead. So you go up to the roof over here and you should see a raven of some kind. Apparently, from what the guide said. Gonna try not to look at another bloody guide whilst I'm here. There was a raven flying up there, haha. Now I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here, because they said in the guide there's supposed to be a white raven on the roof of this place. Yet there isn't. Great. Ah, this is going to require another visit. You have no idea. Well, you can probably guess how much this is killing me to do this. But this is one thing I just absolutely hate doing in MMOs that give you a web browser. I hate literally the fact that the quest can be so difficult to manage and work out that you have to literally go out of your way to find a guide to complete the quest. How these people found out how to do it in the first place, I have no idea, but it's just me being an idiot, I guess. And I'm more than happy to take that criticism, but yes, I am a bit of an idiot sometimes. Remain in spirit form next to the police station. On top of the squad car, you will see the White Raven. Aha, so I'm in the completely wrong place anyway. It's supposed to be the squad car. Got it wrong. Okay, so there it is, the White Raven. If I go up to the White Raven, it will start flying away and you have to follow it. So keep it in your sights of the general direction where it's heading. There it is. Just got to keep following in the direction of where the White Raven goes. And then it will lead you on to where you next have to go. I've written the next bit down on a notepad so I don't actually have to look at the bloody in-game browser again. Because literally, I think I've killed it for the amount of times I've had to look into it. So as you can see, you've got all these ravens around.
3 for a girl.
And every single one that you go by will say something.
3 for a girl. 7 for a secret. Never to be told.
And they will say a number and a phrase. Now, the thing is, you've got to say them in order to replicate that message that you saw on the wall back there. So we need to do 6, 3, 1, 7. Okay, so we need to find number 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7 for a secret. Never to be told.
Okay, that's 7. What about
6 for gold.
There you go, 6. 1 or 3, sorry. I must have miscounted. Okay, that's okay. So we have 1, 2, 3.
1 for sorrow.
Oh, for God's sake, they haven't mixed them up, have they?
5 for silver.
They've mixed them up.
4 for a boy.
Oh, for God's sake.
5 for silver.
That just makes it even worse. Why can't you have it in numerical
1 for
order?
sorrow.
Ah.
2 for joy. 6 for gold.
Okay, so we have 6.
7 for a secret.
That's
Never
7.
to be told. 3 for a girl.
Okay. So 6.
6 for gold.
3.
3 for a girl.
We know where those are. Now where the hell was 1?
2 for joy.
That's 2.
1 for sorrow.
Okay, this one is 1. Okay, so let's do that again.
6
6.
for gold.
I know that one's 7, so I think we got this.
3
6,
for a
3.
girl.
Not that one, but the next one. 6, 3.
1 for
1.
sorrow.
And then number 7 should be this quirky one over here.
7 for a secret. Never to be told.
And nothing happens. It was 6317, wasn't it? Seriously, I am hating this quest just on the fact that I am using the guide more than I should probably be using my head. It should be straightforward. You should give me a guideline as to what I bloody have to do. Seriously, the game intends you to have an IQ of over 500 to understand half of this. Okay. So activate the ravens in the following order to replicate the message in the cell. 6317. 6317. God and girl, soulful secret never to be told. Okay, so let's try that again, shall we? Let's try that again. Okay. So, okay, first things first, we need 6. So is this one 6 again?
3
No, that's
for a
6.
girl.
No,
7 for a secret.
yeah, I know you're 7! Okay, 6.
6 for gold.
That's it. 6. 3.
3 for a girl.
Not that one, because I know it's not that one. This is 1,
1 for sorrow.
and then 7.
7 for a secret. Never to be told.
But am I supposed to use the raven? You're kidding me. I'm actually supposed to use the ravens in the right order. Well, isn't that just
3 for a
great?
girl.
Did not tell me I had to use the ravens. You told me I just had to look at the ravens.
6 for gold.
Yet again, and you had to click them before you had the option to right click them.
2 for joy.
So now I'm just selecting random ones. Fuck it. Until those ones come back. I'm just selecting random ones. Oh, am I gonna have to find my body and reset this entire fucking thing? See, now they've all disappeared because I've done the wrong one. So I'm probably gonna have to find the bloody white raven again and do it all over again. I'll be right back after I've sorted this out. And this is what you get when you manage to actually complete it. You see Jack. And you get raised. And that's Jack. Of Jack-O-Lantern. Wow. Great name. And a nice looking boss. Because I have to admit, some of the bosses in this actually look quite funky. Okay, let's fight him. Let's have an actual boss fight, shall we? Or aren't we supposed to fight him? Okay, we're not supposed to fight him. We're just supposed to notice that he exists. Oh well, we can fight some wisps anyway. Let's change up a little bit. I'm gonna kill you so fucking hard! Die! Ah. And another one. You can tell that after that quest, I am not the happiest bunny alive. I really am not. A quest that intends you to literally die in order to continue it and to complete it effectively is a bad design plot for a quest. I do not like that idea. I do not think that idea is good. I do not even think that idea is reasonable when you have a MMO set in a world where you can literally set up quests that demand that you be alive to do them. Ugh. Okay, so I pretty much showed you one of the worser examples of quests in this game, but I think that's good because it gives you guys an idea as to how frustrating it can sometimes be. But after you have completed a quest, you get to report it in by using your cell phone, where you get a little bit of a declosure to the mission and a prize for it. In our case, we get Pax Romana, which is the actual currency for the secret agencies in this game, and Sequins of Solomon Island, which are used to purchase goods from the Council of Venice, which is always quite nice. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all I am going to show you of that. These are my initial impressions and my first initial impressions on the Secret World. Overall, I think it is a exciting experience, nonetheless. From time to time, there are going to be the odd quest that really do make you want to crap your pants, or literally make you want to reevaluate why you are playing this game. But most of the quests in this game are actually really handy and doodly fun. And I do actually like it. The art style is very nice, the animations are clean, the combat is actually really nice and intuitive, Yes, you require number keys, but it isn't too bad. It actually just feels quite nice, to be honest. It just feels quite nice. So if you do want to try out the Secret World, I do believe it is on Steam now for £20. I could be wrong. And also please check where else you are. I'm not sure how much it is in the US, but if it's £20 in the UK, it'll probably be $40 over in the US. But double check with me if I am wrong. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed my first impressions of the Secret World. I do apologise if that did piss you off, because it pissed me off just the same. If you do want to see more first impressions in the future, or anything else for that matter, please keep an eye on my channel, and also keep an eye on VGU, Video Games Uncovered. A website that will literally uncover the video games you seek. So until next time guys, I'm your host as always, Domus100aka the Experter. Goodbye fellow gamers, goodbye, and I'll be seeing you guys on the battlefield.
Somebody call the cops, cause we gonna ramp it up, say ramp it up.